A lot of people still mention water retention in the beginning of their TRT journey.
When you take an anabolic steroid, which testosterone is, androgenic anabolic steroids will lead to an increase in other mineralocorticoid steroids. For those that know what Cushing's disease is, it is a massive, rapid increase of all steroid hormones. And your adrenal glands secrete hormones as well. And one of them is aldosterone. Aldosterone, secreted by the adrenals that sit right on top of the kidneys, enters the kidney and tells it to reabsorb sodium. And sodium reabsorption carries water with it. When you start TRT or you change dosing or you change protocols, aldosterone spikes will occur transiently. This means that they will occur and then over time subside when you find homeostasis. In that time frame, expect water retention. If you're eating a good diet and you're exercising correctly and sleeping correctly, that water retention will be intracellular. This means it will inflate your muscle tissues and possibly intravascular, which means that you may notice a mild increase in blood pressure due to something called hypervolemia, or an increase in blood total volume. It is not necessarily bad because it will also lower hematocrit by hydration ratio. At the same time, if the blood pressure gets out of control, it can be bad because it still stresses your kidneys and your heart. Elevated blood pressure is the number one cause of renal failure that leads to dialysis over time, but that's when it is chronic. It is also the number one cause of something called LVH, or left ventricular hypertrophy, which is the thickening of the wall of the left ventricle of the heart, which is the main pumping chamber into systemic circulation. So don't ignore elevations in blood pressure, although if they are transient and not very sufficient, they will subside with a proper lifestyle. Hydrochlorothiazide is a common prescription to combat hypervolemia. It dispels water out of the blood vessels. If you're leading a lifestyle that is less than optimal with regards to nutrition, that aldosterone spike will absorb more sodium. If you're eating a lot of bread, which is the number one source of sodium in the American diet, bagels, things of the sort, if you're eating a lot of canned or bagged foods, they're all preserved with sodium, you're going to blow up. You're going to have interstitial edema or third space edema, which is the fluid spilling out of your blood vessels into the space between your skin and your other tissues. So you're going to essentially have bloat. You can blanch it when you touch your wrists and your ankles at some points. You'll notice it kind of almost like a doughy sensation, especially in the lower limbs. Diabetics have this due to poor circulation. You'll notice a lot of the edema in the ankles and feet and the swelling. They'll wear compression socks. So that is a severe situation that requires attention. If it is transient, like I said before, clean up your diet, increase your potassium intake. Potassium is exchanged in the cell with sodium. So if you eat sweet potatoes, if you eat avocados, those are rich sources of natural potassium. Bananas a little bit, not so much, but sweet potatoes and avocados, phenomenal potassium sources. You may supplement with potassium citrate, which is another supplement. If you are a patient on heart medication and you're under the care of a cardiologist, please do not supplement exogenous potassium because it can cause arrhythmias and other problems. So speak to your cardiologist first. But overall, the water retention will subside once the aldosterone settles down. And oftentimes I see guys overdosing with testosterone as well, which is another issue. We have a video specifically on this that you and I did about 3 years ago, and it's on the channel as well.